What's up, family? So today I really want to show you how to really pick out sniper entries, accurate entries, and profitable entries. It's all about being intentional with your entries. I'm going to show you a few examples of trades that I took live and I also sent to my community. And I want to show you the real motive behind it and what you can also do to make sure that you get this type of entries. So, firstly, it's all about intention. When it comes to you trading in the markets, it's all about you mastering when to trade and when not to trade. The market is quite volatile, it moves, but there is when it has a sweet spot and you ought to aim for that sweet spot. For example, this was a trade that I took on NASDAQ. It was during the London session. Yes, it's not the biggest move, but I was able to really get in through just that injection of liquidity right 1 to 2 hours after the London session has opened. It impacts most, of course, London-based pairs such as your pound and your euro, as well as indexes such as your DAX, because that's based in euros, Europe as well. It likes to impact them. And of course, it has a bit of impact on NASDAQ. So when I was looking for a setup, I was particularly being very intentional about getting a trade. That's exactly what I did over here. So if we can look, this trade only took me a few minutes, guys. Was a 1:3 trade. It took me a few minutes just to simply get this trade. And I just want to show you, I don't want to break down a lot of stuff. I was able to identify that the trend was bearish. With whichever style of trading you're acquainted to, this information that I'm sharing in this video is going to be quite helpful, right? I was just observing the trend, and of course, I noticed we're right within the London Open. It just opened about 1 hour ago. As the market was pulling back now, I was able to identify a break and retest over here. We'd have a breaker, okay? And of course, with that level there, the market as it was retesting, I just waited for a simple confirmation, which was just an engulfing or a rejection candle actually. But later I also saw as well as giving me an engulfing pattern. So it rejected off that zone, that breaker, as well as it gave me an engulfing pattern with that. And that was my catalyst to actually enter this trade. So see what I just did over here. Simplicity at its best. I was able to identify when it's the right time. So I had intention so that not everything catches my attention. Then after, I was able to identify structure. So I followed structure. Number two, when the market touched that, I was not trying to predict. Many of us, we fail because we're trying to get sniper entries. We're trying to predict instead of react. The best trades comes of you reacting, understanding what the market is saying to you. So in this case, I was able to understand that, okay, we got a weak rejection over here or a pin bar rejection on this zone. What is the market telling me? It's telling me that we're about to sell. Again, as I was about to wait for this candle to close, I saw it creating a candle that is engulfing that whole rejection candle, giving me double confirmation. Therefore, I was only just looking at that reaction and seeing what the market is communicating to me, and I took the trade. And in no less than 5 minutes, we hit the take profit. Okay. Now, I want to share another trade. This one was more pips because, again, it was a trade that was supposed to be traded within that session, as it is Euro USD. It was an absolute beautiful trade as well. It was supposed to be traded in that, hence why I would advise you be intentional. If it's London session, trade your Euro pairs and of course your pound pairs. If it's New York session, trade your USD pairs, in fact, base pairs and also indexes. You're more prone to becoming more volatile. The first 2 hours of every opening session is quite the most powerful, whatever that you're trading. If you're intentional and you backtest, you know the how and the nitty-gritties of how that market moves, you're well assured that you're going to get good entries and consistency over over many trades. So in this case over here, the very same thing, guys. I was able to study and validate Now, I've done so many videos teaching how to validate trends and all of that. In this video, I'm basically telling you how to be intentional and just showing you a few examples of trades that I took. This was the previous day. I'm recording this on a Tuesday. I took these trades on a Monday. And we can also see if we just pull back on this trend here, we can quite see that this was a bullish market, as you can see. It was quite bullish. We have validated that trend. Now, again, um, we can also see that this was 8 a.m. That's when in South Africa the London session opens. And I knew, but by 9 a.m. we should be getting momentum on this markets. And that's exactly what I did. I waited for the market to sort of just give me a setup. I was on the 5 minutes. I saw a demand and executed according to the trend. I always say the trend is your friend. Now, why I aimed for a high risk to reward ratio over here, this was a 1:2, almost 8 in fact, is because we had what we call room to the left. So we have no resistance or support that can stop this market. In fact, I should have aimed for higher risk to reward ratio. But anyhow, I was quite content with what I got from this, and it took no less than just 30 minutes for this market to close. In about 10 a.m., I was already done. So executed around 9 and around. So that was an hour of just a market rallying in my direction. That's how you want to be intentional. Master time and price and know how to react, not predict. That's where you're on the sweet spot. Now, I do want to show you this. I did send that NASDAQ trade. Let's see if I can go into my Discord over there. Okay, so we're on my Discord. This is the trade. So this was actually almost 10. It was actually 10. This was the beautiful trade that I sent over there onto the group. As you can see, this is how it looked exactly. I was just simply responding to that breaker over there. I did mark it with a line, and this quite sold beautifully. Look at this. Beautifully. Just it sold quite beautifully. Within a matter of few minutes, we had already just hit. So this was around 28 minutes, guys. We're just hit almost 1:3 in terms of risk to reward ratio. And of course, this I also got the same trade over here. I got a confirmation, guys, on my very system. So as I had sold over here, I had more confluence to making sure that I get this trade right. So I've created a system when I was away from the market. So many of you know that I was not mentally in the right space to trade because price action does require a bit of precision and laser focus to make sure. But if you know when to get in on the right time, you can just have something with whichever style of trading that you have, you can make sure that you get profitable trades. So I coded something that can make sure that I get similar entries than what I would get just on a analyzed setup that I put in work in. So that was my entry system, and check it out. I got the same entry. Again, it also gave me confirmation of this entry. It's quite simple. It's not the holy grail, guys. I just make sure it respects structure. It notifies one when structure has, finished or is invalidated. It sends you an arrow that does not reprint and also sends you signals to your phone. So it's quite good, guys. So this is what I'm working on, and probably later on I will get to launch it for the public and probably do a video as well on how it works. But for now, it's still sort of my baby, and I'm still working on a few things before we can send it off to the public. But yeah, what you can take from this video, guys, is just that you ought to trade with precision. You ought to trade, like you ought to trade in the right time with intention and react from what the market does instead of predicting. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I am going to do another video where I basically tell you the right trading psychology that I have learned that would have saved me years, in terms of to succeed, the right mentality that we sort of receive from the world, and we want to apply the same rules. We want to be rational, where else trading is irrational. So that's the next video that's coming up. Please do subscribe, like, and also share this video with your friends and family. God bless you guys. I'll see you on the next video.